Ребят, после этого ставим датчики.
Are you done?
Ага.
И уходим на ИСО-1 вместе с поручнем.
And
На 60.
move to 6005. 6004, and here is 6005. So that the sensors are pointed towards the center of the window. And you want the perimeter and the center, the spiral, is that right? Yes, the spiral as well. That's it, Fedor. That's enough. I'll try and do it again. It's kind of dirty here. Do you want me to sample it as well? Of course. If you see any dirt, please sample it. Okay.
Так, Сергей, еще раз.
6005. 5? Yes, 5.
Сюда, в самый край.
So at the very edge of the rail.
Сторону 6006.
Closer to 6006.
Так. Федор, ты меня видишь?
Fyodor, do you see me?
Нормально?
I do. Have I installed it well? Yes, let me cover it up here. Back out, and I am moving to you. No, do not move, just verify. All right, verifying.
Федор, ты
Fyodor,
готов, чтобы потом датчики отснять?
have you prepared the camera to make the footage of the sensors? I have. All right, close it up.
Сереж, поставил, да?
Sergey, have you installed it?
Что? Это моя?
What? Is it mine?
Я вопрос задал, да.
Yeah, the question is to you.
Да, какой?
What's up?
Ну, насчет датчиков, я вижу, что ты уже...
I see that you are already
Да.
tightening the lock.
Ну, его потом
Yes.
потяну.
And it's all installed. Do you see that? I see that.
Правильно стоят? Все хорошо?
Are they installed well? I mean, are you happy with how we installed them? Yes, we are. And you can tighten the screw.
This is Mission Control Houston. You're continuing to listen to the work of Fyodor Yurchikhin and Sergei Ryazanskiy outside of the International Space Station's Russian segment. They have just completed the installation of an adapter with 10 thermal sensors that will measure temperature fluctuations and variations on the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station.
Серег, и что, он так и идет?
Sergey, is it still moving? Let's hope that we don't damage anything.
Да не, хорошо стоит.
It's installed really well.
Продолжаем.
Okay. Please continue tightening it.
Ну и
And guys,
аккуратнее с этими кожухами, да.
be careful with those covers.
We have hit the 5-hour, 45-minute mark into today's spacewalk. It's pretty clear that this spacewalk, the 202nd in support of space station assembly and maintenance, will exceed the original duration planned for today of 6 hours. By how much this spacewalk will be extended, not yet known. Russian flight controllers are consulting with our flight director here in Mission Control, Rick Henfling, and the crew is being brought in on those discussions to determine how much this spacewalk can be extended so that the cosmonauts can complete either all or most of the remaining tasks, which are essentially the collection of test samples of residue and other effects of the space environment on the structures of the Russian segment of the station. So we'll keep you apprised as more information becomes available.
Sergey, give me... But let me do it.
Yurchikhin and Ryazanskiy have been working very methodically and deliberately outside, first deploying 5 nanosatellites in the first hour of the spacewalk, and then working to install handrails and struts and collecting surface deposit data on a variety of test samples and cassettes. So with all of that work ongoing, with nothing untoward having slowed them down, just a more methodical pace being executed by Yurchikhin and Ryazanskiy, we're standing by to see how much today's spacewalk will be extended by to enable them to complete either all or most of the remaining work yet to be done.
Вот так, да. То же самое делаем.
So, and do the same thing with the second one. All right, go over there. Why are you pushing me? Stop pushing me. Hold on.
Сереж, а что если корабель...
Sergey, are you sure that maybe you can just press on the red with the hook? Hold on. We want to be really careful here and not to move anything.
Она же отжимается.
Well, you can depress it, right? Yeah. But here it wouldn't even budge.
Вышли. Что?
Сереж, а может Федор тебя придержать?
Sergey, maybe Fedor could hold you for a few seconds, all right?
Давай я отсюда. Вот здесь вот двумя руками.
Well, let's try. Let me try it with both hands.
Part of the discussion involved in today's spacewalk involves Whitson and Fisher being isolated in the Poisk module. They will be in the Poisk module at the time that Yurchikhin and Rosansky return to the Pirs docking compartment for its repressurization. In the highly unlikely event Pirs could not be repressurized, then Poisk would be used as a backup entry point for the two cosmonauts to get back inside the station. We are expecting a decision momentarily on how far today's spacewalk will be extended as we approach the 6-hour mark in this excursion.
Take them off one by one. All right, I have it removed. We see that, Sergey. Thank you so much. Fyodor, I have a big request. Could you take images of the setup for about 30 seconds from all sides, please? I am filming it. I hope you see that. Yes, could you get a little bit closer, Sergey? Could you move aside if you can, please? I moved aside.
Ну все,
All
нормально.
right, guys, everything's looking good.
Давайте собирать вещи и будем...
Let's gather the tools and go back to DC-1.
Все, по времени совсем плохо.
Со временем...
So what about time, Sergey, in Moscow? Are we behind, very far behind? No, not very far. You don't have to be in a hurry. So you have practically performed all the timeline of the EVA apart from the strut installation. I think we would better go to DC-1 and we'll kind of resolve the issues that are left, and everything is going nominally.
Вы как думаете, давайте возвращаться по стреле.
Guys, maybe you should go back using the boom. What do you think?
Как-то стрела ближе к тебе или ко мне?
Sergey, are you closer to the boom? Or I am closer? Actually, it does make a lot of difference, Fyodor.
Так, а тебе что?
So,
У меня ближе ко мне.
so it is closer to me, actually, Fyodor. It is just right next to me.
Все, кроме круглоглаза.
So I have everything apart inaudible.
Station.
Right, I see, Fyodor.
Yeah, we got the video. Thanks.
Sounds great. Нет желания перед уходом пару минут отдохнуть.
Maybe you should rest for a couple of minutes before you start your way back. Sounds good, Sergey in Moscow. Are you okay? Yes, I am.
Ну что, пару минут прошло? Идем. Пошли.
All right, so a couple of minutes have passed. Shall we start translating? Yes, guys, it's a go. You can start translating.
Петя, я на колечке поеду. Да.
So I will use the ring and will do the translation on it, Fyodor. Yes, of course, I agree.
This is Mission Control Houston. We have now passed the 6-hour mark in today's spacewalk. Yurchikhin and Rosansky are slowly translating back to the Pirs docking compartment to await further word from Russian flight controllers in Korolyov about how much further we will be extending today's spacewalk. They're about an hour and a half down on the timeline with about 1 hour of content left in the spacewalk, which is mostly the collection of material in test cassettes, residue and other surface deposit material on Russian structures in and around the Pirs docking compartment. Peggy Whitson and Jack Fisher, meanwhile, awaiting further word on when they will be directed to move inside the Soyuz MSO-4 spacecraft.
And Sergey, how are you doing? I'm just there. I'm keeping where...
Here in Mission Control, spacecraft communicator Josh Casada informing Peggy Whitson that Yurchikhin and Rosansky will continue to press on with their work. Again, they're about an hour and a half down on the timeline, not because anything untoward has happened, just working very deliberately and methodically outside the Russian segment. There's about an hour's worth of work yet to be done in the collection of test samples from structures outside of the Pirs docking compartment itself. And so we'll see as the next few minutes unfold how much additional work really will be required before Whitson and Fisher need to make their way inside the Soyuz MSO-4 vehicle that is docked to the Poisk module at the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station. That is their return vehicle. They will be isolated for a short period of time inside that segment while Rosansky and Yurchikhin move back inside the Pirs docking compartment at the completion of today's spacewalk for repressurization of the Pirs airlock. The isolation is required by the flight rules. In the unlikely event Pirs could not be repressurized, then Poisk would be used as a backup entry path for the two cosmonauts to return to the International Space Station. The belief is that the remaining work for Rosansky and Yurchikhin can be accomplished within the next hour. So again, this EVA is running longer than had originally been planned by the pre-spacewalk timeline. How much longer remains to be seen. It could be an additional hour.
I did not secure my hook very well here, Fyodor. This is much better. I am in DC and I am on the VS copy, so I have lots of things here. Sergey, please don't be in a hurry, so please take care of everything so that nothing is behind your feet when both of you will be there, especially the shortcut handrail should not be there, making an obstacle of itself.
This is Mission Control Houston. Just to recap.
So I will give you camera, Sergey.
Fyodor Yurchikhin and Sergey Ryazanskiy now 6 hours, 8 minutes into today's spacewalk.
All right.
Making their way back to the Piers docking compartment to assess the remaining work in a spacewalk that is running about an hour and a half behind on the timeline, with about 1 hour's worth of work remaining to collect more test samples on the surfaces of the structures of the Russian segment of the station. The crew has been informed to keep working while we assess the time, but the spacewalk is going to be extended, or is already extended. How much more work remains to be done is under discussion, perhaps up to an hour. We'll keep you posted. All of the work so far has gone very well, including the deployment in the first hour of today's spacewalk of 5 nanosatellites by Yurchikhin and Ryazanskiy.
This is Fyodor. Fyodor, can you see me? Yes, please look at me, and evaluate the situation with me. Stand by 1. Sergey?
Зацепил за что?
So, where is it? Okay, let me approach. Could you please tell me where is this snag or something?
А он снизу у тебя прошел же.
You know, it is below, and you know there are instruments between it and you.
Вроде отодвинул.
So I thought I moved it away. I moved it aside.
Ну, сегодня нелетная погода. Прилетная.
Well, the weather is not for flying today, it looks like.
Переходи. Я кровопой брошу.
Okay, so it's too early for you to enter, Fyodor, a little bit. I will just leave GoPro. So where is my safety tether, the one that was tangled? Has it flown away, Fyodor? No, I still have it. I still have it.
Да, сейчас.
Stand by one, Sergey.
Да. Куда его?
So, where should I put it?
Ага, сейчас откроет.
Okay, so the red tether.
Все, можно мне отдать его.
Now you can give it to me, Fyodor. All right. Here you go.
Back at the Piers docking compartment, Yurchikin and Rosansky are taking a crew lock bag with additional so-called test cassettes out of the airlock, which will be used to collect
Should I?
additional samples
Yes.
on the segment structures of the Russian side of the International Space Station. They'll also be installing a couple of so-called test exposure units, which will render several different types of materials to the space environment until they're collected and brought back inside on a future Russian spacewalk. This spacewalk again has been extended. We're just going to let the Russian crew continue working and assess the time as we go along. The spacewalk now 6 hours, 13 minutes in duration.
Так, крылок будьте завел.
You have a crew lock, crew lock bag. Inaudible.
Федор, Сергей,
Fyodor, this is Sergey in Moscow. Go ahead.
может, давайте все-таки займемся? Я понимаю, что это ответственная...
I understand it's very important what you do right now,
Пойдем на улицу.
but maybe you should egress. You know, we were untangling Sergey, because without that we wouldn't have been able to egress. That's why I was silent. I was giving you time to untangle him.
Сереж, единственное, что... Знаешь, что еще? Чтобы не мешалось, я проволоки снял.
Sergey, I removed the wire ties. This is Fyodor.
Германия это еще...
What about the first one? Now I'm taking it, number 1. You have it, Fyodor? No, actually it should be somewhere near you.
Вот эти проволоки можно?
These wire ties, can you take them or it's very hard for you, Sergey? Give them to me, 10 by 1. That's it?
Федор, а у нас контейнер изолирующий где?
Fyodor, and what about the insulating container? Where is it?
Про полотенце ты имеешь в виду?
Для полотенца.
For the towel, yes. For the towel. It's in the Krulok bag. We will retrieve it. We are going to retrieve it. Copy.
Так, все, держи. Держу.
So are you holding it, Sergey? Yes, I am holding.
Да, ты сюда повесил? Ну, там я перевес вторую, можешь взять или...
You can take number 2. So, Sergey, in Moscow, where should we translate? I guess on the other side of the rail. So, Sergey,
3002 на ВЛ2.
you will have to translate to the rail 3002 on VL2, on the hatch number 2. Copy.
Да.
Could you please strengthen it a little bit there, Fyodor? Yes, I will do that.
Сереж, слушай, вон пакет большой. Поверь, сложнее.
Inaudible.
Не сходил. А, то есть в другую сторону, что ли? Ну, там нет, в эту же сторону.
Should I go in a different direction? Well, you know, it doesn't make any difference, you know, of course it's on the other side.
По большому, по большому диаметру.
Actually, it's along the large diameter. This is a circumferential rail, and, you know, it goes in circles, so to say. Not again. Well, I was telling you, Sergei, so the weather is not good for flying today. Just not suitable for flying.
Не сильно летная. Что ж такое?
So what should we do with it? So you have the same situation? Yeah, similar one. Right, I managed to, you know, do this properly.
Ребят, работаем со вторым люком.
Guys, let's work with the hatch number 2.
Берем такой же, как и на ВЛ-2. Мимо второго.
So similar, you know, like you did from MRM 2, and you will install expose unit on the rail 3003.
Хорошо, Сергей, еще раз полностью.
Okay, Sergey, one more time. Handrail 3003, handrail on which you should install. And if you are facing the EV hatch, it will be the lower handrail and handrail 3002.
Кольцо.
It's towards the node. I found 06. Let's see.
3003. Есть такой.
And 3003, I see it.
Хорошо, на него экспонирование тоже.
Good.
Номер 17.
Номер.
Number 17 install the same as the other hatch. So screw towards the hatch.
Это как там?
Copy. Will do.
Давай. Так, я сейчас перецелуюсь тогда. Поближе к этому.
Let me get closer.
Ты прикрепи его. Я закручу.
You move it and I will tighten.
Сделаю все. А ты Да? А,
You should not be here right now.
дальше не пойду.
I'm not going any further. Okay.
А мы были... Извини. Так, это вот вот тут, вот так.
Is it here? Yes. I'll be working here.
Сейчас я тебе отдам.
I'm going to hand over the red to you.
This is Mission Control Houston, approaching the 6.5-hour mark in today's extended spacewalk as Fyodor Yurchikhin and Sergei Ryazanskiy continue to collect test samples of residue and other deposits on the surfaces of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, part of the so-called test cassette samples that measure the effect of the long-duration exposure of the Russian segment structures to the space environment. Everything has gone very well. The crew outside has been working deliberately, somewhat behind the timeline in terms of phased elapsed time since they began the spacewalk at 9:36 a.m. Central Time this morning, but everything is proceeding on track. The agreement was made between our flight control team and the Russian flight controllers outside of Moscow to let the two spacewalkers continue their work and an agreement to extend the spacewalk up to about an hour of additional time outside should that become necessary. So we'll be standing by for further updates on how long this EVA will go and the progress of the rest of the work on tap for Yurchikhin and Ryazanskiy in this spacewalk. The 202nd in support of space station assembly and maintenance, the highlight of which was accomplished in the first hour of the spacewalk, that being the deployment of 5 nanosatellites by Yurchikhin and Ryazanskiy to deploy satellites responsible for a combination of scientific investigations and symbolic activities.
And number 14, it's on EV Hatch 1. Excellent.
Так, а мы кто ставил? Еще раз, Федь, номер.
Okay, one more time.
17 ставим на
Нет.
Л2.
Number 18,
На ВЛ
test exposure unit we put on EVH2.
пусть так и будет, мы просто...
Мы приготовились.
Did you already install the number 18 there? No.
13.
We are going to do the 17, yes, and also 13.
Давайте 18.
Okay, let's work on test unit 18 now.
Миша. Есть? Угу.
I can see it. Okay.
Колбочку. Еще раз съешь.
Stand by a bit.
Какая? Есть. Есть.
I got it.
Плюс.
Disconnecting and connecting.
Давай следующий.
Next.
Сейчас. А, вот из этого, да?
You mean this one, yes?
Угу. Как тебе удобно? Все? Все делай.
Done here? Yes.
Все? Твое. Мое. Пошел.
Okay, this is mine here.
Так, хорошо. Теперь у нас все-таки 13-й.
Okay, then number 13. Copy.
Так, 17-й, 30.
And test unit 17
Да,
is
17.03.
to 3003. That's correct.
В 13 делаем
Test unit
номер 1.
13.
Опять в этой же нише от головы.
Use the same alcove by the antenna.
Как и в прошлый раз, по периметру иллюминатора.
And the next along the window perimeter.
Делаю вторым.
Okay.
Я пока не вижу.
I do not see the alcove yet.
Как Фиди делал.
Круглая, большая.
Ну да,
такая.
там
It's a round
полусфера.
opening. Yes, it's semi-spherical. Okay.
Так, антенна, здесь написано base point.
Okay. Antenna base point.
Еще раз.
Is that what I need? One more time.
Написано base point.
I can see base point.
Нет,
Is that what I need?
это у нас тут базовая точка от
No.
стрелы.
Хорошо, от нее
So
справа.
this is the reference point, and from this point
Есть там,
you go to the right.
если ты посмотришь, смотрит антенна вперед, напротив прямо, в сторону пассивного узла.
And if you go towards the passive node, if you look that way, then you can see the space you need.
С другой стороны, понял.
Understood.
Нет, Сереж, со стороны пассивного узла
Okay.
ВК.
It's from the side of the passive node.
Скажи, пожалуйста,
Надо было
рядом
идти от...
поручень какой-нибудь.
Wait.
Идти надо было мимо базовой точки,
You should have gone from the reference point
туда, в сторону первого люка.
Вот я
towards the hatch 1.
рядом с 2 АО ВК. Рядом.
I'm close to 2 AO VK.
Куда дальше?
Then where do I go now?
В сторону первого люка надо идти.
You go towards the hatch 1.
То есть она не рядом со вторым люком. Хорошо.
Она чуть дальше.
So it's not exactly close. Yes, it's a little bit further towards hatch 1. Copy.
Так, в какую сторону осталось только выяснить?
Okay, I need to be sure in which direction I should go.
На СК-2 можно увидеть, посмотреть купола на фотографии.
You can see the cupola.
Ну что, Сереж, нашел?
Sergey, did you find it?
Нет. Ну ладно, я пошел обходить вокруг.
Okay, I'm going to go around.
Она четко по третьей плоскости.
It's exactly along the third plane.
Вот я нахожусь четко по третьей плоскости.
That's where I am.
Так, вот если вперед смотрит в сторону пассивного узла,
So if you look towards the passive node, this antenna should be on your right, I think.
смотри
Wait.
пассивного узла.
Looking towards the passive node.
Так хорошо только?
Okay, is it this one?
Посмотри поручень 3005.
Check for the handrail 3005.
Еще раз.
Let me see one more time.
3005.
3005.
Только что я нашел 3006.
I found 3006.
Да, вот и где 3006.
Yes.
Дальше смотри,
And
там
next,
должна быть сферическая
along the structure, there should be a spherical alcove.
Нету там полосы.
I do not see it.
Вот есть вот такая вот ниша. Может это?
This is what I see.
Под левой рукой посмотри. Вот.
Look under your left hand. That's exactly where it is.
Я рядом с ней был.
I was there before.
Хорошо.
Okay.
Федор. Да. Ты ногами толкаешься.
Okay,
Да, да, и...
you're in my way.
Включи, пожалуйста, камеру. Свечи. Сейчас.
Now the camera, please.
Ту, которая 360 стоит. Что стоит делать?
The one that is 360.
Сейчас закручу и пойду включу.
This is Mission Control Houston, 6 hours 43 minutes into today's spacewalk. The view from Sergei Ryazanski's helmet camera. This extended spacewalk providing the cosmonauts about another hour's worth of work outside, and they were originally scheduled to perform so that they can wrap up final tasks in collecting residue samples from locations outside of the Poisk module, which is on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station, as well as the Pirs docking compartment airlock. At the time at which Ryazanski and Yurchikhin will return to Pirs to close the hatch, end the spacewalk, and begin the repressurization of the airlock, Peggy Whitson and Jack Fisher will be moving inside the Soyuz MSO-4 spacecraft, their return vehicle for their landing on September 3rd. That is attached to the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the station's Russian segment as a precautionary measure per the flight rules in the highly unlikely event that a problem would crop up with the repressurization of Pirs, forcing Ryazanski and Yurchikhin to use an alternative entry path back into the station, which would be the Poisk. However, we're not there yet. Whitson and Fisher will, per the flight rules, be isolated for a short period of time inside Poisk and the Soyuz vehicle attached to Poisk, waiting for the repressurization of the Pirs docking compartment. Yurchikhin and Ryazanski will then enter the station through Pirs, and Whitson and Fisher will end their isolation and return into the space station themselves.
Так, еще раз, 3028.
One more time, 3028, correct?
3038.
3038, handrail.
На 3028 нахожусь.
I am at 3028.
Сереж, он сбоку
Sergey, it's
пассивного узла.
to the side towards the passive node.
Ниже, сейчас вот будет 28-й, 30-й, и следующий.
28, 30, then 38, going down. Let me see if I can get there.
Патрон ограничен, написано.
It says cartridge is limited.
Ген, слышишь?
Do you copy? Gena?
Ну, это иногда бывает.
It can happen.
Сергей, там, где полотенце стоит,
Sergey, it's where the towel is, correct?
Сейчас, подожди секунду.
Stand by, please.
For those who are lovers of statistics, Sergei Rosansky, who is currently outside, and this is the view of the Pacific Ocean, just north of the Solomon Islands from his helmet camera. Rosansky, in the midst of a spacewalk that will exceed 7 hours in duration when it's all said and done, was part of the longest spacewalk in Russian spacewalking history, that being an 8-hour, 7-minute excursion back on December 27th, 2013. During Expedition 38, he was outside with Oleg Kotov, where they attempted to install a commercial camera activity on the Zvezda service module. No telemetry was received on the ground from that experiment, that commercial experiment. That was the longest spacewalk in Russian spacewalk history. We will not approach that during today's excursion, but this spacewalk that was originally designed for 6 hours in duration will exceed 7 hours when it's all said and done.
Okay, tell me, how is it relative to the EV hatch?
Да. Так, она у нас...
вот так как ты шел мимо нее. Значит, я рядом с 2 и шеф 1-1.
I'm close to 1-1.
Что полотенце, смотри.
Okay, look for the towel in front of you. Yes,
Вот это оно.
that's the one. So I should take it with me. Okay.
Ты придешь?
Иду.
Are you coming towards me? Yes.
Не факт, что я его один вдыхаю.
I don't think I can handle this towel by myself.
Сначала контейнер готовим, а потом...
Prepare the container first for the towel, and then
Я сейчас буду контейнер лежать.
Да? Это...
you can disconnect the towel itself.
Так, сейчас я к тебе приду.
I'm going to hand this to you. It's blinking.
нелетная погода.
That's totally not a flight weather today.
Не включил, да?
You probably haven't turned on the camera, have you?
Аккуратно ты по ней на.
I will. And be careful, you are stepping on one of the units.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
This is Mission Control Houston, approaching the 7-hour mark into today's spacewalk. This view from Fyodor Yurchikhin's helmet camera as the International Space Station sails 252 statute miles over the Pacific Ocean, moving from southwest to northeast, I should say, in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. Word coming in now from the Russian flight control team in Korolyov and the Russian Mission Control Center that we're about 10 minutes away from the point at which the crew will make their way back to the Piers docking compartment airlock and to make preparations for them to close the hatch to wrap up today's spacewalk. That would signal the start of work inside the space station to place Peggy Whitson and Jack Fisher in a contingency isolation activity inside the Poisk module to which the Soyuz MS-04 spacecraft is mated. That's their return vehicle that will bring them home on September 3rd. They're a temporary isolation in Poisk per the flight rules in the unlikely event that Yurchikhin and Rosansky would not be able to repressurize the Piers docking compartment once they move back inside. So we are now in the final stages of wrapping up this spacewalk. A short time from now, spacewalk originally scheduled for 6 hours in duration, which was extended to allow the cosmonauts to complete all but one task. The only task on the timeline that we're told that will not be accomplished is the installation of a single handrail near the Poisk module interface with the Russian segment of the International Space Station, a task that can easily be added to a future Russian spacewalk.
VL or EV hatch 1. All right. And Sergei, you will be passing by the way, by Fyodor, so he doesn't need to get closer to you. So the camera is installed on what handrail?
Ой, называется. Здесь написано ПТС-1.
It says HTS-1.
У меня написано ISF-1-1.
Mine says ISS-1-1, plane 1.
Нам нужна четвертая.
Well, we need number 4. Awesome.
Сегодня, да, день какой-то удивительный.
That is
Если нам что-то надо, то это обязательно не в ту сторону.
just a really interesting day, because whenever we need something, it is in a completely different location than we think, and if we're moving somewhere, we're moving in the wrong direction.
Да, какой?
Just jinxed. So, move forward. So, what do you want me to do next, Fyodor? Fyodor, what does Fyodor do? Fyodor needs to stow samples from the window on the EV hatch 1. And what window do you want him to sample? Number 14. What test do you want him to use? Number 14, please. All right. Let me get it out.
Павел Несполе по шлюзованию для Дмитрия.
Павел, на связи.
Принято, Павел, да. Значит, Павел, мы начинаем работать по созданию резервного шлюзового отсека. И можно начинать работать по пункту 2 фрагмента 9, закрытие люков МИМ-2 и СУСМ, РОПХО, ПГО и СУСМ. И начинаем с пункта 2.1, закрытие люка 2, МИМ-2 и СУСМ.
Я сейчас
The spacewalk has now just passed the 7-hour mark. Yurchikhin and Ryazanskiy wrapping up all of their work outside, collecting their tools, making sure they have the proper inventory for all of the hardware that they've used during the course of today's spacewalk. Paolo Nespoli right now being informed by Russian flight controllers about the initial procedures to enable Peggy Whitson and Jack Fisher to make their way towards their return vehicle, the Soyuz MS-04, within which they'll be isolated for a short period of time of about an hour while the repressurization of the Piers docking compartment takes place per the flight rules.
Sergey, and you need to find 3028, and then 3030 is here. And from number 28 you go down. So you mean where there are two antennas? RVK 2 and the other one, RVK. So you will be RVK and the other one, they are there. I do see them. The handrail, they're talking over each other. Sergey? There we go. Here it is. All right, the MLI valve. Which one do you mean? There is a huge semi-round valve, and then there is VKDO valve. Is that the one? Yes, that's the one. I passed this place like 150 times.
This is Mission Control Houston, 7 hours, 3 minutes into today's spacewalk. Just to recap, Fyodor Yurchikhin and Sergei Ryazanskiy are wrapping up work outside of the Piers docking compartment. They're collecting their remaining tools and other hardware that they used for today's spacewalk, which was highlighted in the first hour this morning by the deployment of 5 nanosatellites manually, 1 by Yurchikhin, 4 by Rosansky, for a variety of scientific and symbolic purposes. Those nanosatellites will spend about a handful of months orbiting the Earth before their orbits decay and they come back to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere. With all of the other work accomplished, being the installation of struts and handrails, only one task will go uncompleted, not completed today, that being the installation of one handrail at the interface between the Poisk module and the Zarya module on the Russian segment of the station, a task that will easily be picked up during a future Russian spacewalk. We're probably just a few minutes away now from the point at which the 2 cosmonauts will re-enter the Pirs docking compartment and close the hatch to mark the official end of today's spacewalk. Russian spacewalks, their durations are marked between hatch open and hatch close. The hatch open today occurred at 9:36 a.m. Central Time. Once the hatch is closed, we'll have a final elapsed time of today's spacewalk for you, and we'll provide additional statistics like we do at the end of every spacewalk at the International Space Station.
Because it's tiny.
Дима, это Паула.
На связи.
Dima, this is Paolo.
Нам надо начинать фрагмент 9, шаг 2.
Я слушаю.
Да, это Паула, это вопрос. Я в ТГБ, скажу, нам надо начинать фрагмент 9, шаг 2 или нет?
Да, можно работать и начинать работать по закрытию люка МИМ-2 и СУ. Жду Павла доклада о закрытии люка МИМ-2 и СУ и СТЭМ.
Принято.
Сереж, номер 2 это ВЛ, правильно?
Да, правильно.
Да, просто Сергей закрыл пока мое место. Я уже отлез. Да, а я уже здесь. Здесь хорошо, прохладно.
This is Mission Control Houston with the spacewalk by Yurchikhin and Rosansky about to come to a close with the entrance of the two cosmonauts back into the Pirs docking compartment. Peggy Whitson and Jack Fisher will be instructed now to move into the Poisk module and their Soyuz MSO-4 spacecraft attached to Poisk on the space-facing side of the International Space Station for a period of about 1 hour of isolation during the time that the Pirs hatch is closed and the docking compartment airlock is repressurized.
Подожди, Сереж, сейчас Федор с тестом закончит и будем выключать сублиматоры. И у меня просьба, ребят, как только сможете, все-таки полотенце поглубже засуньте и заизолируйте в этом контейнере.
Хорошо, конечно. В принципе, я проволоку его закрутил. Или это надо сделать сейчас?
Сейчас сделаем еще одна вон проволока есть. И мешок вот здесь есть.
Хорошо.
Дима, это Павло.
По связи.
Экипаж ТК на МИМ-2 и люк МИМ-2 СУСМ закрыто.
This is station reporting. SUSM hatch is closed. Paulo, we copy. Please move on to step 2, and could you please report about the condition of ROPHO hatch? I am working in step 2.2. We'll have to get the camera. That's the EVA operator speaking.
This view from Sergei Rosansky's helmet camera, Fyodor Yurchikhin already inside the hatchway to the Pirs docking compartment, the International Space Station flying just north of Vancouver. And the view of Rosansky, who's wrapping up the 4th spacewalk of his career. 7 hours, 11 minutes so far in duration, soon to wrap up.
Can you see it clearly? Well, I'm unscrewing it right now, and I'll try and stow it. So one is just refusing to be aligned with the strut. Well, honestly, I think if they had given us like extra 10 minutes, we would have been able to complete everything. Guys, you've been out for 7 hours, 18 minutes. Well, the EVA, are you serious? Yeah, time flies. So it's around, it's about like a few minutes past 5.
Так, ну вот на мазюку.
Oh, I thought it was later.
Что, Федор, давайте.
Федор, guys, wrap it up.
Закрутить осталось.
Well, we just need to screw that down. That's it. Just screw it, and that's it.
Спокойно собираем все имущество. Значит,
All right, guys, big request. Please confirm again that the gloves are clean before you get into DC1. All right, well, I checked. They are frayed a little bit and chafed, but they are clean, and we will get we have even 2 more towels to wipe them down to make sure everybody is copacetic about it. And we have 4 more towels in the crew lock to be to wipe them. Well, it's okay, guys. It's okay. Don't overdo it. Just let us wrap it all up here. So, and guys, there is one more procedure. You need to shut down the sublimators. Well, you will ingress, and I will hand over the tools to you and the video camera. And we will provide the inventory, we'll do the inventory of NASA tools.
Закончил. Люк РО ПХО закрыто.
Принято, Павла, спасибо. Работаем дальше по пункту 2.3. Закрытие люка ПГО и СУСМ. Жду доклада по закрытию.
Сейчас я короткий слов.
Sure. The short one here. So, once you are ready, guys, to shut down the sublimators, please let us know.
Так, ну мне, наверное, СТМ надо вначале.
So, I think we need to do some preliminary steps here. Well, Gennady will provide you some advice on that one. Could you please, this is Gennady, could you please let me know what position the switch is in on the sublimator? In position 3. So, please put the switch in position 3 for the suit thermal control system. All right, let me stow the camera, and after that, we'll perform all the steps regarding the thermal suit thermal system regulations. Suit thermal controls. So, you got it? Yes. Sergey, I have a big request. As soon as possible, please turn on your helmet camera. Just wiggle it, or press the power button. Have you pressed the button? Is that it? And yours is all tangled up. Hold on a little bit more. Wow, that's a tangle. Oh, guys, we're getting the video image. Thank you. Could you please hold this, Red? There we go. We can put it inside, and we have untangled this. knot of cables. All right, there we go. Okay. Pull it. All right, pulling. Awesome. There we go. And here is the camera. Well, the camera has been running till the battery died. It seems like it.
По связи.
2 и 3 закончили. Люк ПГО СУСМ закрыто.
Принято, Павла. Люк ПГО СУСМ закрыт. Хорошо. Ожидаем теперь дальше работу на обратном шлюзовании. Спасибо, Павла.
So here's the camera. All right, and let's check out the hatch. So here is the crew log bag down there. Awesome. There you go. This one is accounted for. The video camera. Hold on. There we go. Got it. Let me disconnect it. Here. All right, let me pull it a little bit in. Okay. Okay. The camera and the crew lock bag are inside the crew lock. Copy. All right, guys, are you ready to shut down the sublimators? You have a go to shut them down. Sergey, are you about to ingress? I am ready. As soon as Fedor gives me a go, I will ingress. So, should we turn down the sublimators? Yes, you have a go to turn off the sublimators. Stand by 1. Fedor. Yes. Please start with the procedure of shutting down the sublimator. Please put the heat and cold handle in 3 position. All right. So in 3rd position. So you need to. I need to deactivate the sublimator first. Well, it doesn't really matter. You can work with the suit thermal controls first. Okay.
Но ручку сублиматора,
but the sublimator handle, that manual handle, should be in position 3. Copy. 3rd position. Okay. There we go. Something's in the way there. All right, in position 3. Okay. And suit thermal control now as well. Okay, suit thermal control. There we go. The sublimators are off. OFF. Copy. Guys, talking over each other. All right, guys, let's take a breath and let's go through all the tools and items for corrective just to make sure that everything's there. Fedor. OCA is in place? Yes. The swing arm, the left one, is in place? Yes.
I confirm.
This is Mission Control Houston. You're looking at Sergei Ryazanskiy outside of the hatchway to the Piers docking compartment airlock. Inside is Fyodor Yurchikhin as the two cosmonauts conduct a final inventory of their tools before Ryazanskiy moves inside to join his spacewalking partner for the day. A spacewalk that is now 7 hours and 24 minutes in duration, soon to wrap up. Whitson and Fisher are inside the Poisk module on the Russian segment of the International Space Station, beginning a period of isolation as a protective measure per the flight rules. In the unlikely event the Piers could not be repressurized, Yurchikhin and Ryazanskiy could then make their way to Poisk, which is an alternate path of entry for them to the International Space Station. However, we're expecting the hatch to close within the next few minutes to bring to an end this spacewalk that began at 9:36 a.m. Central Time this morning, and which accomplished all of the tasks minus one, the installation of a single handrail on the Poisk module that will be picked up on a future Russian spacewalk.
I have it. Tool caddy also, where it should be. Yes, it is. Ratchet wrench is where it should be. Yes, I have it. Glisser is in place. Glisser hardware. Glisser? Yes, that's right. Glisser hardware. You have one large small red. You should have it. Yes, I do. And three small. Because I have two, and I didn't use the third one. Well, the third one is on the wing nut, and it is on the caddy. All right, so we are done with the inventory, and let's wait until the sublimators deactivate. So can I ingress? Yes, you can ingress. It's a go. I am ingressing. This is Sergei. Again, now we will have to do the dry out of the sublimators. You know, nothing is written there regarding the dry out. It says here that the injectors should be activated, and also to work with cartridges. Inaudible. Okay, Sergei, you are. There is a handle on your way. Okay, thank you, Fyodor. A little bit lower, a little bit lower. So that's how the big the window should be.
Welcome.
You are welcome, Sergei. Thank you, Fyodor. We are home again.
Мы время отключения сублиматоров засекли. Время сушки максимум 10 минут, поэтому...
So the dry out time is maximum 10 minutes, so we have marked the time when the sublimators were deactivated, so the dry out time is 10 minutes. We are ready on your go, Moscow. Well, you know, it looks like it's a little bit of snow on the hatch edge. Could you please repeat that? What did you say, Fyodor? You know, it's an impression like dust in the air. Very beautiful sight. Please dwell on it a little bit more. Well, guys, so you remove the ring, please. It's a go to remove the ring.
И, как обычно, смотрим на резинки.
And please look at the seals as usual. You know the procedure. Copy.
This view from Rosansky's helmet camera showing the removal of the protective ring around the circumference of the docking compartment hatch, which protected it from any micrometeoroid debris hits during the course of today's spacewalk. The crew standing by to close the hatch to mark the end of today's excursion.
It will be dusty, though. But I think everything looks good. Can you see from the other side? Yes, I can. They are fine. Okay, let me turn here. No, I've already done that. Well, it started flying. Inaudible.
Время за бортом 7 часов 30 минут.
So the time that you spent outside is 7 hours and 30 minutes, EVA time. Copy, we are ready.
Федор, Сергей, сейчас мы ждем.
Федор,
У Сергея, наверное,
Сергей.
у него там вот счетчик заработал. Пройдет сушка сублиматора.
Please stand by. Sergey's timer started.
Минутку подождем.
Please wait a little bit more. So while the sublimators dry out. Copy, Moscow. We are ready.
Ну как, ребят, впечатления?
Guys, what are your impressions of the EVA on the activities that you performed? Well, you know, it's very sad that we were not able to install this strut. So kind of various impressions, and also our hands are, you know, tired. Although, you know, it was not more intense than the previous EVA, but so I'm pressing menu a few times, and it still goes back to this injectors and cartridges message. Copy. So it considers that this is a priority. I mean, your spacesuit is considering that. Well, I don't think you should create the spacesuits that think, you know, without us, think independently. But we will, you know, try to outsmart them. What about the hardware, CO2 sensors? You know, they were working fine, and the thermal regulation also was working fine, and all the calculations coincided with the real temperature that you had in your spacesuit, so the systems actually were working fine. And when you activated the thermal regulation system, what is your impression? You know, I activated it for cool mode for a while. But, you know, in a nutshell, please go ahead. Well, please close the hatch first, and then we will discuss it a little bit later. Okay, copy. In work. So please start closing the EVA hatch. Can you push me a little bit further? Yes, of course. I can push you hard. Yes, please push me. Is it all? Yes, it's done.
Сереж, напоминаю,
Сергей,
закатится до щелчка и
a reminder,
снимаешь ключ сразу.
the rollers should click. Yes, we heard the click. The rollers are in the indentations, and then the tool, the hatch tool, the hatch tool should be removed right away so that it wouldn't go back inadvertently. Yes, we have removed it.
Все, люк закрыт.
The hatch is closed.
Люк закрыт.
Hatch is closed.
Принято.
Copy.
Все, я вас отдаю Диме.
So I'm now giving the reins to Dima. Thank you so much for your work.
The hatch to the Piers docking compartment has been closed. We're standing by for an official end time from the Russian flight control team in Korolyov, and we'll pass that on momentarily.
Dima, this is Fedor.
Федор Николаевич, Сергей, это Дмитрий.
Fedor, Sergey, this is Dmitry. Now let's do the repress procedure.
Фрагментами обратного шлизования по фрагменту 10.
So
Шагу 4.
it's a cue card 10 and the step number 4. So the repress until 260 millimeters from PHO. Okay, stand by one, please. So I will push.
This is Mission Control Houston. The official end time for today's spacewalk was 5:10 p.m. Central Time. The spacewalk ending at 7 hours and 34 minutes. Again, the spacewalk officially confirmed by the Russian Mission Control team at 5:10 p.m. Central Time, 6:10 p.m. Eastern Time. The spacewalk concluding at 7 hours, 34 minutes, and we'll have all the other statistics for you momentarily.
So this is a protective ring. So I am retrieving it, Sergey. So it's cue card number 9 or 10? 10. Fedor, cue card number 10, step number 4. Give me some time. Step 4, because the two, both valves are closed. Because 2 is closed.
This is Mission Control Houston. To recap today's spacewalk, Fyodor Yurchikhin and Sergei Rozansky opened the hatch to the Piers docking compartment this morning at 9:36 a.m. Central Time to begin a spacewalk that would last 7 hours and 34 minutes. with the hatch closing officially marked at 5:10 p.m. Central Time. Again, 5:10 p.m. Central Time, 6:10 p.m. Eastern Time for the end of today's spacewalk, which lasted 7 hours 34 minutes. This was the 202nd spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance. For Yurchikhin, this was his 9th spacewalk. He has now logged 59 hours and 28 minutes of spacewalking time, putting him 4th on the all-time spacewalking list for elapsed EVA time, right behind Peggy Whitson. Yurchikhin's 9 spacewalks now logging 59 hours, 28 minutes. Whitson has logged 10 spacewalks for a total of 60 hours and 21 minutes. Sergei Rosansky completed the 4th spacewalk of his career and an elapsed time of 27 hours and 39 minutes of spacewalking time. The 202 spacewalks in support of space station assembly and maintenance that began in 1998 have now logged 1,258 hours and 15 minutes of spacewalking time. 1,258 minutes and 1,258 hours and 15 minutes. That is the equivalent of 52 days, 10 hours, and 15 minutes of spacewalking time. And this was the only scheduled spacewalk for Expedition 52, a spacewalk again lasting 7 hours and 34 minutes. So we're standing by now for the repressurization of the Pirs airlock. We'll get that underway and then bring our broadcast to a close.
2120. This is EV1, Fyodor.
$170.
170, 015 in the spacesuit. Copy. We have the same pressure in the spacesuit in 015.
$190.
190, 190 is the pressure.
$220.
300 and 220, and the pressure in the spacesuits is nominal.
$240.
240, 240 is the pressure. 006 is in this pressure in the spacesuit. Copy.
$250.
250, 250.
Принято.
Copy.
Выдаем команду закрытие КВД ПХОС.
So at 260, we will send the command to close КВД ПХОСу. How copy, Moscow?
Принято.
We copy. We have 260 Moscow. The КВД is closed. We send the command. Copy. LED is not illuminated anymore. Copy.
Начинаем стабилизацию.
Let's start stabilization, talking over each other. What is SO pressure on MV, Fedor?
Сейчас.
Standby 1.
Давление высокое по локометру.
DC pressure
63.
on the MV is 263 millimeters. Paola PHO pressure on MV. Could you please give the reading? 300 even. 300 copy. So a few minutes of stabilization. Fedor, you will do Q card 11, step number 5, the transition to the station.
This is Mission Control Houston. As you've been listening to the interpreter, the repressurization of the Piers airlock is well underway and going well. For the duration of this repress activity, Peggy Whitson and Jack Fisher are isolated for a short period of time in the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station per the flight rules as a precautionary measure. Once Piers is fully repressurized, the hatch to the International Space Station will be open, and Whitson and Fisher then will be back in a nominal situation to move about the cabin as they move into their pre-sleep activities. The spacewalk came to an end about 11 minutes ago at 5:10 p.m. Central Time with the closing of the hatch to the Piers docking compartment airlock, wrapping up a spacewalk that lasted 7 hours and 34 minutes in duration. One more time to recap the statistics. This was the 202nd spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance, the 9th in the career of Fyodor Yurchikhin, bringing him 4th on the all-time spacewalking list in terms of aggregate spacewalking hours. His 9th spacewalk has now accumulated 59 hours and 28 minutes of spacewalking time. Sergei Rosansky completed the 4th spacewalk in his career for a total of 27 hours and 39 minutes of spacewalking time. And as we mentioned earlier, the 202 spacewalks for space station support since 1998 have now accumulated a total of 52 days, 10 hours, and 15 minutes of spacewalking time. So with that, we're going to wrap up our coverage for the day. Yurchikhin and Rosansky deployed 5 nanosatellites, installed a number of struts and handrails, and collected samples of residue on the outside of the station for analysis by Russian engineers in the future. The only task not completed in this highly successful spacewalk today was the installation of 1 handrail for access for future spacewalking teams. That was not accomplished. It was to have been installed on the Poisk module. However, it was not accomplished. It will be rescheduled on a future Russian spacewalk. So with that, we'll wrap up our coverage. Thank you for joining us throughout the course of the day today in our coverage of the Russian spacewalk. You can follow all the activities of the crews on board the International Space Station and Expedition 52 in particular on our website at www.nasa.gov/station. Thanks for joining us. That'll wrap it up. This is Mission Control Houston.
Go ahead, Fedor. Yes, in work.
Ты можешь мне просто подсказать. Я дотягиваюсь легко.
Ну да.
А ты можешь просто сказать, куда. Сюда. Сюда.
You can help me, Fedor, just prompting me what to do. Yes, of course.
Попал, да?
Нет. Высоко.
Did I manage? No, it was too high, Sergei. You missed. That's great.